I got a girlfriend at 52. Everyone said I was doing the right thing, moving on, getting back out there. My son practically threw a party when I told him I met someone. 9 months later, I'm sitting in my own living room on a Saturday morning, and I can't remember the last time I had the place to myself. She's talking about her daughter's wedding drama, and I'm nodding, but what I'm actually thinking is, I miss my life. That's the thing nobody warns you about when you start dating again in your 50s. You can be lonelier with someone than you ever were alone. If you felt this, or you're wondering why dating at this age feels harder than it should, subscribe. I'm breaking down what actually happens when you date out of obligation instead of wanting to. Let me back up. My marriage ended when I was 48. Not dramatic, no affairs. We just ran out of road. Signed the papers, split everything down the middle, and that was that. First year alone was rough, I'm not gonna lie. The house felt too quiet. Weekends were the worst. We used to have this routine: farmer's market on Saturday, grill something for dinner, watch a movie. Without her, Saturdays just felt empty. But somewhere around year 2, I found a rhythm. Started going to this hardware store just to talk to the guy who runs it. Joined a woodworking group at the community center. Learned to cook actual meals instead of living on takeout. Got a routine that worked for me. Not the life I'd planned, but it was mine. Then my son started in on me. We're having dinner at his place, and he says, "Dad, you need to meet someone." "I'm fine," I told him. "You're not fine. You're alone all the time." But here's what he didn't get. Alone wasn't the problem. I wasn't sitting around miserable. I had my woodworking. I had poker on Thursdays. I had my mornings where I'd make coffee and not have to talk to anyone until I was ready. Still, he wouldn't let it go. Neither would my buddies. At poker one night, Joshua pulls me aside. "You're too young to give up, man. You got another 30 years. You gonna spend all of them alone?" And honestly, I started believing them. Started thinking maybe I was taking the easy way out. Maybe something was wrong with me for being okay by myself. So, I tried one of those dating sites. Took me forever to figure out how to set up a profile. Felt ridiculous taking selfies at 52, but I did it. And when the messages started coming, I felt something I hadn't in a while. Wanted. That's how I met Evelyn. 49, divorced, seemed easy to talk to. We messaged for a few weeks, then met for lunch at this diner halfway between us. She was nice. Told me about her kids, her book club, how she'd been single for 3 years and was ready to try again. Driving home, I thought, okay, maybe everyone was right. Maybe this could work. First couple months were fine. Dinner once or twice a week, movies, walks when the weather was decent. It felt normal. But then small things started shifting. She'd call in the morning, just checking in, then again at lunch, then before bed. At first, I thought it was nice. This is what people do when they're together, right? They stay connected. But after a few weeks, it started feeling different. If I didn't answer right away, she'd call again, then text, "Where are you? I was worried." One Thursday, I'm at my woodworking group. Phone keeps buzzing. Evelyn. I let it go. When I called her back an hour later, she's upset. "I didn't know where you were. I told you I have woodworking on Thursdays, but you didn't answer." I felt this weight in my chest, this guilty feeling like I'd done something wrong by spending an hour with my friends. Then there were the weekends. Every Saturday she wanted to do something. Visit her sister, go to the outlet mall, try that new brunch place everyone's talking about. And if I said I wanted a quiet weekend at home, she'd get this look. "Don't you want to see me? I started saying yes, even when I wanted to say no. Because what kind of person disappoints someone who just wants to spend time with you? Here's what nobody talks about. When you're 52 and you get a girlfriend, everyone assumes you should be grateful, like you won some kind of prize. So when you're tired, when you need a Saturday to yourself, when you just want one morning where you don't have to explain where you're going or why you didn't text back, you feel selfish. About 6 months in, I noticed something. Every time her name showed up on my phone, my shoulders tensed up. Not in a good way, in a bracing way, like I was preparing for something. One night, she called at 10:30. I was already in bed, half asleep, TV on low. The phone rang. I looked at it. Part of me didn't want to answer. But then I thought, what if something's wrong? What if she needs me? So I answered. Nothing was wrong. She just wanted to talk. About her day, about something her son said that bothered her, about a dentist appointment she was nervous about. We talked for over an hour. When I finally hung up, it was past 11:30. I just sat there in the dark. Not tired from the late hour. Tired from something else I couldn't quite name. The next morning, Joshua called. Hey, want to go fishing Saturday? Supposed to be perfect weather. I love fishing with Joshua. We don't talk much, just sit there. It's peaceful. But I knew if I went, Evelyn would want to come. And if she came, it wouldn't be fishing. It would be conversation and complaints about the heat and the bugs and how boring it is to just sit there. So I told Joshua I couldn't make it. That night, sitting alone in my house, I realized something. My life wasn't mine anymore. The breaking point came about 8 months in. We're having dinner at her place, and she just says it. I think we should move in together. I sat there, fork halfway to my mouth, feeling panic rising in my chest. That night, I'm back at my house where I raised my kids, and I thought about sharing it. Someone else's schedule determining when I eat, when I sleep, when I have my coffee. And I couldn't do it. I ended things the following week. She cried, asked what she did wrong. The guilt was crushing. But I told her the truth. I thought I wanted this, but I don't. My son was disappointed. My friends didn't get it. For the first few weeks, I felt terrible. But slowly, something started happening. I woke up one Saturday and my first thought was, what do I want to do today? Started fishing with Joshua again, got back into my woodworking, had quiet evenings where I didn't have to be on for anyone. And I wasn't lonely. I was peaceful. Here's what I learned. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely. With Evelyn, I was never alone, but I was lonely because I couldn't be myself. That's a different kind of loneliness, where someone's sitting right next to you, but you've never felt more isolated. It's been 3 years since Evelyn. I haven't dated since, and I'm not going to. Not because I'm bitter, because I finally understand something. I got a girlfriend because I was afraid, not because I actually wanted one. Afraid of what people would think. Afraid I was supposed to want companionship at this age. Now I wake up, make my coffee exactly how I like it, spend my mornings in the garage or doing absolutely nothing, and I don't have to explain myself to anyone. My son finally stopped pushing. Last time I saw him, he said, "You seem happier now, Dad." He's right. I am. Not because I found the perfect person, because I found peace. Listen, I'm not saying relationships are bad, but if you're thinking about dating just because you're afraid of being alone, stop. Ask yourself what you're really afraid of. Because being alone doesn't mean you're lonely, and being in a relationship doesn't mean you're not. At this age, peace isn't a luxury. It's everything. My body can't handle constant emotional labor anymore. So I chose peace, and I'm not apologizing for it. If you're in a relationship that's draining you, you're allowed to leave, even at 52, even at 60. And if people are telling you to find someone when you're fine alone, you're allowed to say no. Your own company is enough. You don't need someone else to validate your existence. So no, I don't have a girlfriend. And no, I'm not looking for one. Not because I gave up, because I finally learned to love my own company. And I'm not giving that up. Subscribe if this landed. I covered the psychology behind why relationships start, stall, and fall apart.